Hello everyone, tonight we slip into a world where the air hums with secrets, where every step feels like a trespass into someone else's dream. Picture this, a road so quiet you hear your own heartbeat, fog curling like fingers around your ankles, and a signpost ahead, half swallowed by mist pointing to a town that shouldn't exist. You might not survive this. So, before you get too cozy, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and local time. I'm curious where you're listening from tonight. Now turn off the lights, maybe switch on a fan for some soft white noise, and let's begin our journey tonight. The fog clings to me like damp wool as I walk my trainers scuffing against cracked asphalt. I don't know how I got here, honestly. It's like the universe hit shuffle and dropped me into a low-budget horror flick. The signpost reads, Wellsmere, a name that sounds like it was coughed up by a Victorian poet. My phone's dead naturally, because what's a creepy adventure without a bricked iPhone? The air smells of wet earth and something sharper like burnt sugar. I pulled my jacket tighter, wishing I'd packed more than a granola bar and misplaced optimism. Ahead, Wellsmere's outline emerges crooked rooftops, a church spire stabbing the sky, and streetlights flickering like they're auditioning for a ghost story. It's too quiet, no cars, no dogs, not even the hum of a distant deli. My gran used to say, silence is the world holding its breath. She'd know. She lived through 2 wars and a marriage to my granddad, who snored like a chainsaw. Her wisdom sticks with me. Trust the quiet, but don't turn your back on it. I pass a shuttered shop, its windows smeared with grime. Inside, mannequins stand frozen, their plastic eyes glinting. Fun fact, mannequins were originally made from wax, and some Victorian ones melted in shop fires, leaving behind creepy puddles. Shudder. I keep moving my shadow, stretching long under the streetlights. The fog seems to pulse like it's alive, guiding me toward the town's heart. I mutter, if this is a prank, I'm billing you for therapy, but there's no one to hear my sarcasm. The street narrows, cobblestones slick underfoot. A debate rages in academic circles about whether humans can sense being watched. It's called the gaze detection hypothesis. Right now, I'm team yes, because my neck prickles like I'm starring in someone's nightmare. I glance back, half expecting a jump scare, but it's just fog and shadows. Still, I quicken my pace, heart thumping like a bass line at a dodgy club. A shape looms ahead, a pub its sign creaking. The weary traveler, it says, which is so on the nose, I almost laugh. The windows glow faintly, promising warmth. My stomach growls that granola bar's a distant memory. I push the door hinges, groaning like they're personally offended. Inside, the air's thick with pipe smoke and the murmur of voices. A barman polishes a glass, his eyes sliding over me like I'm a maths problem he can't be bothered to solve. Evening, I say, aiming for casual. He nods, pointing to a stool. The other patrons, 3 old blokes in flat caps, don't look up from their pints. Their faces are weathered like oak left out in the rain too long. I order a tea because I'm not daft enough to drink mystery ale in a place like this. The barman slides a chipped mug my way, steam curling like a question mark. I sip, scalding my tongue, and scan the room. A fireplace crackles, spitting embers onto a stone hearth. Above it, a clock ticks its hands, stuck at midnight. Joke number 1. I bet that clock's been broken since dial-up was a thing. The tea is bitter, but it grounds me. I lean back, letting the pub's warmth seep into my bones, though that prickling on my neck doesn't quit. One of the old blokes coughs a wet rattling sound. He mutters something about newcomers, and the others nod their eyes, flicking my way. Great, I'm the main character in their gossip. I try to eavesdrop, but the fog outside seems to muffle sound like it's jealous of the conversation. My grand's voice echoes again. Strangers are just stories you haven't heard yet. She'd probably charm these geezers with a biscuit and a war anecdote. I finish my tea, the mug leaving a ring on the bar. The barman's still polishing that glass mate it's clean enough to perform surgery with. I fish out a $5, but he waves it off. First one's free, he says, his voice like gravel. Joke 2, free tea in a creepy pub. That's how you know you're doomed. I thank him, standing my legs stiff from the cold walk. Outside, the fog's thicker swirling like it's got plans. The pub door creaks shut behind me, and the street feels narrower, the shadows sharper. I head toward the church spire, its silhouette a beacon in the haze. Something moves in my peripheral vision, a flicker like a curtain twitching. I freeze breath, clouding the air. Hello, I call, feeling like the idiot who dies first in a slasher film. No answer, just the fog's soft hiss. Joke 3, if this town's on TripAdvisor, I'm leaving a 1-star review. I keep walking the cobblestones, uneven, my heart a drumbeat. Wellsmere's secrets are close. I can feel them like a whisper you can't quite catch. The spire looms closer, and with it, the promise of answers. Or more reasons to regret not staying home with Netflix. The fog trails me like a clingy ex as I leave the pub, Wellsmere's church spire still playing hide and seek in the mist. My trainers squelch on the cobblestones, each step echoing in the unnatural quiet. I'm aiming for that spire, but the town seems to have other plans, funneling me down a side street lined with sagging cottages. Their windows are dark curtains, drawn like eyelids over secrets. I'm knackered, my legs heavy from the endless walk, and the idea of a bed, even a lumpy one, sounds like paradise. That's when I spot it, a sign swinging gently, painted with faded letters. The Silent Inn. Subtle Wellsmere. Real subtle. I push open the door, a bell jingling above like it's surprised to see me. The lobby's warm smelling of old wood and lavender, with a hint of something musty, like forgotten laundry. A reception desk sits under a flickering lamp, its guestbook open pages yellowed. Behind it, a woman with hair like spun silver looks up from her knitting. Her eyes are sharp, like she's counting my sins. Room for one, she asks, voice soft as moth wings. Yeah, cheers, I say, trying to sound less spooked than I feel. She slides a key across the desk, number 7, naturally, because this place loves its cliches. My gran used to say, rest where you're welcome, but don't overstay. She probably clocked this in as dodgy, but charmed the socks off the receptionist anyway. I sign the guest book, my name, looking lonely on the page. No other entries, which is either a red flag or proof. This town's tourism board needs a sacking. The woman Eleanor, her name tag says, points to a staircase. Up and left. Breakfast's at dawn. I nod, clutching the key, its cold metal biting my palm. The stairs creak underfoot, each step a complaint. Joke 1, this place makes my old uni flat seem like a 5-star resort. The hallway's narrow wallpaper peeling like sunburnt skin. Gas lights flicker, casting shadows that dance like they've got a grudge. Room seven's door is heavy oak, carved with vines that look too lifelike. Inside, it's past a bed with a quilt that screams great aunt's attic, a dresser, and a window overlooking the fog-choked street. I drop my bag, the granola bar wrapper crinkling like it's mocking me. The bed groans as I sit springs poking my thighs. I'm half expecting a ghost to pop up with a boo, but it's just me and the silence. I wander to the window, the glass cold against my fingers. Outside, the fog swirls, and for a second, I swear I see a figure tall, cloaked, gone before I blink. My heart does a little samba. There's a debate in psychology about pareidolia, where we see patterns like faces in random things. Maybe it's that, or maybe Wellsmere's messing with my head. I draw the curtains, their fabric stiff with dust. Back on the bed, I notice a bedside table with a drawer. Curiosity is my worst habit, so I tug it open. Inside, there's a brass pocket watch, its face cracked, hands frozen at midnight. Fun fact, pocket watches were status symbols in the 1800s, but sailors hated them. Salt water wrecked the gears. This one feels heavy, like it's holding more than time. I slip it into my pocket because apparently I'm that guy who nicks creepy antiques. The inn's quiet, but it's not peaceful. It's like the walls are listening, their silence louder than any noise. I lie back, the quilt scratching my neck, and try to relax. Joke too, if this bed's haunted, I'm charging it rent. My eyes drift to the ceiling where water stains bloom like abstract art. I'm bone-tired, but sleep feels risky, like I might wake up 100 years later with a beard and a vendetta. A creak snaps me alert. It's not the stairs or the wind, it's closer, like someone's in the room. I sit up, heart hammering, scanning the shadows. Nothing. Just the gaslight flickering, the fog pressing against the window. Get a grip, I mutter, but my voice sounds thin. I dig out my dead phone, its blank screen mocking me. No signal, no torch, no memes to calm my nerves. I pace the room, the floorboards groaning like they're snitching on me. The pocket watch in my pocket feels warm now, which is either my imagination or a sign I'm about to star in a cursed object story. I stop at the dresser, its mirror speckled with age. My reflection looks off, paler eyes too wide, like I'm auditioning for a zombie flick. I lean closer, and the mirror fogs like someone's breathing on the other side. I stumble back, nearly tripping over my bag. Nope, not today, I say as if Sass will save me. Joke 3. If this inn's on Airbnb, I'm reporting it for excessive spookiness. I grab the key, half tempted to bolt, but we're back to the fog, the pub, Eleanor's knitting needles. My grand's wisdom kicks in again. Fur's a guest. Don't let it stay too long. She'd probably tell me to make tea and tell the ghosts to sod off. I force myself back to the bed, pulling the quilt to my chin like a kid scared of monsters. The inn creaks, again a low moan. That could be pipes or something worse. My eyelids droop, the lavender scent lulling me despite my nerves. The last thing I hear is the fog's soft hiss outside, like it's whispering my name. Sleep tugs me under, but not before I wonder if I'll wake up in Wellsmere or somewhere else entirely. The silent inn's quilt is scratchy, but sleep drags me under like a riptide. I wake with a start, my mouth tasting like regret and last night's tea. The room's dim gas light still flickering like it's on its last legs. My hand fumbles for the pocket watch I nicked, still warm, still stuck at midnight. I shove it back in my pocket, heart thudding like I've been caught shoplifting. Outside, the fog presses against the window, thick as porridge. I'm still in Wellsmere then. Brilliant. I swing my legs off the bed, the floorboards creaking like they're grassing me up to Eleanor downstairs. My trainers are damp from last night's trek, and my stomach's doing backflips over that granola bar's absence. I grab my bag and head out, locking room 7 behind me. The hallway's colder now, the wallpaper's peeling vines looking more like claws. Joke 1. If this inn's got a spa, I bet it's just a bathtub full of cobwebs. Downstairs, Eleanor's gone, her knitting abandoned on the desk. The guest book still open, my signature, lonely as ever. No breakfast either. Dawn must have come and gone while I was dreaming of fog and faceless figures. I poke around the lobby, hoping for a biscuit or a miracle. Instead, I find a side room, its door ajar. Curiosity's my curse, so I nudge it open, hinges whining like a moody cat. Inside, it's a parlor straight out of a period drama. Velvet chairs, a fireplace choked with ash, and shelves stuffed with knickknacks. The air smells of dust and old paper, like a library that's forgotten how to breathe. My eyes snag on a table cluttered with photographs, their frames tarnished. I pick one up, wiping grime off the glass. It's a black and white shot of a family stern, dad, prim mum, 2 kids with creepy doll eyes. Their faces feel familiar, like I've seen them in a dream I can't shake. I grab another photo, this one of a market square, packed with people in old-timey clothes. There in the crowd is a man with Eleanor's sharp cheekbones. Another shows a woman by a river, her smile matching the barman from The Weary Traveler. My pulse picks up. These can't be them. They're too old, from an era of horse carts and gas lamps. Yet the resemblance is uncanny, like Wellsmere's recycling its residents. Fun fact, early photography required subjects to stay still for minutes, so people often looked stiff or blurry. These folks, though, they're sharp as knives. My grand's voice pipes up. The past clings tighter than you think. She'd spend hours flipping through her photo albums, telling stories of cousins, twice removed, who all looked like they shared the same scowl. She'd say, photos trap moments, but sometimes they trap more. I set the frame down, my fingers tingling. There's a debate in anthropology about whether images hold power. Some cultures avoid photos, believing they steal souls. Right now, I'm not laughing that off. I keep sifting through the pile. A photo of a clock tower catches my eye, its hands at midnight, just like the pocket watch. Another shows a festival lanterns glowing in the fog, faces eerily similar to the pub's old blokes. It's like Wellsmere's stuck in a loop, its people frozen in sepia. My chest tightens. Am I in these photos too? Somehow, I shove the thought away. Joke 2. If I'm in a vintage snap, I hope I'm rocking a better haircut. A creak behind me makes me jump, the photos clattering. I spin, expecting Eleanor with her knitting needles poised for battle. It's just the parlor door swaying, caught by a draft. Still, my skin prickles like I'm being watched. I stuff a small photo, the clock tower one, into my bag, because apparently I'm now collecting cursed souvenirs. The parlor feels smaller now, the walls leaning in like nosy neighbors. I head back to the lobby, my trainers loud against the floor. The guest books are still there, but now I notice faint pencil marks under my signature, like someone's traced it. I squint, but they're too faded to read. My grand's wisdom hits again. Trust what's written, but question who wrote it. She'd probably tell me to nick the guest book too, just to be thorough. I resist, but only barely. Outside, the fog's waiting, swirling like it's got a personal vendetta. The church spire's still my beacon, but the photos weigh on me, their faces burned into my brain. I pat my bag, feeling the pocket watch and the stolen snap. Joke 3. At this rate, I'll open a Wellesmere museum in my backpack. The town's quiet, but it's not empty. I feel eyes on me, hidden in the mist. The cobblestones lead me forward toward the spire, but every step feels like I'm walking deeper into someone else's story. I pass a shuttered shop, its mannequins still staring like they're judging my life choices. The fog muffles sound, but I swear I hear a whisper, soft as a sigh. Keep going, it says, or maybe that's my brain, filling in the blanks. Either way I do, because what else is there? Wellesmere's got me now, its secrets tugging like a fishhook. The spire looms closer, and with it the promise of answers, or more questions, dressed up as truths. The fog's got a mind of its own, curling around my ankles like it's trying to trip me up as I trudge toward Wellesmere's church spire. The stolen photo and pocket watch in my bag feel heavier than they should, like they're sulking about being nicked. The cobblestones are slick, and my trainers slip every few steps, making me look like I'm auditioning for a slapstick routine. The town's still too quiet. No birds, no wind, just my own breathing, and the occasional creak of a shutter. It's like Wellesmere's holding its breath, waiting for me to do something stupid. My gran used to say, when the world's too still, it's planning something. She'd mutter that while stirring her tea, her eyes sharp like she could see trouble brewing in the leaves. Right now, I'd kill for her no-nonsense advice and a proper cuppa. The spire's closer, its stone silhouette stark against the fog. But the streets keep twisting like the town's rearranging itself to keep me guessing. Joke 1. If Wellesmere's got a town planner, they're definitely on the naughty list. I pass a boarded-up bakery, its sign promising fresh loaves daily in peeling paint. The air smells faintly of burnt bread, which is either my imagination or a ghost baker working overtime. My stomach growls, reminding me I'm running on fumes and a dodgy pub tea. I'm about to keep moving when a sound stops me cold, a low resonant chime, like a bell, but deeper vibrating in my chest. It's coming from the spire's direction, and it's not inviting. It's commanding. I check my bag, half expecting the pocket watch to be glowing or something equally daft, but it's just sitting there, stuck at midnight. Fun fact, church bells were once used to mark time, ward off evil, or signal disasters, sometimes all three. This chime feels like the third option. There's a debate in history circles about whether bells have psychological power, their sound shaping human behavior. Right now, I'm behaving like a moth drawn to a very suspicious flame. The chime fades, but my feet are already moving, pulled toward the sound. The fog parts just enough to reveal a square ahead, dominated by a clock tower attached to the church. It's massive, its stone face carved with vines that mirror the ones on my inn door. The clock's hands are, you guessed it, frozen at midnight. I pull out the stolen photo. It's the same clock tower, down to the cracked glass over the dial. My skin prickles. This isn't a coincidence. It's a bloody invitation. I circle the tower, its base swallowed by fog. The church itself is locked, its doors heavy oak with iron studs, like it's bracing for a siege. The chime comes again, louder, rattling my teeth. Joke 2. If this clock tower's trying to flirt, it needs to work on its charm. I spot a side door half hidden by ivy, its hinges rusted. I give it a push, expecting resistance, but it swings open with a groan like it's been waiting for me. Inside, it's dark, the air thick with dust and damp stone. My phone's still dead, so I squint, letting my eyes adjust. A spiral staircase winds upward, its steps worn smooth by centuries of feet. The chime echoes again from above, and my heart's doing a drum solo. I start climbing the stairs, creaking like they're gossiping about my life choices. The pocket watch in my bag feels warm again. Or maybe that's just my nerves frying. Halfway up, I pause, catching my breath. The walls are carved with symbols, circles, lines, weird squiggles that look like they belong in a cult's group chat. I trace one with my finger, and it's cold, like it's sucking the heat from my skin. My grand's wisdom hits old marks, mean old promises, don't touch what you don't understand. She'd probably whack me with her knitting needles for being this nosy, but I'm too deep now. At the top, I find a room, its ceiling lost in shadows. The clock's gears loom like a steampunk nightmare, rusted and still. A single window lets in grey light, the fog swirling outside like it's eavesdropping. The chime sounds again, so loud I clap my hands over my ears. It's not the clock, it can't be with its guts frozen. It's something else, something in the air, in the town itself. I step closer to the window, my reflection faint in the grimy glass. For a second, I see another face, older, lined with eyes like Eleanor's. I blink, and it's gone. Just me looking like I've seen a ghost. Joke 3. If I'm aging this fast, I need Wellsmere's skincare secrets. I back away my trainers, scuffing the dusty floor. The chime's gone, but the silence is worse, heavy with expectation. I head back down the stairs, feeling steeper, the symbols on the walls more accusing. Outside, the fog's thicker, the square empty. The clock tower looms behind me, its presence like a hand on my shoulder. I'm not sure what I found up there, but it's got me hooked like a puzzle I can't leave unsolved. The town's secrets are louder now, whispering in the fog, and I'm too stubborn or too daft to walk away. The clock tower's chime still hums in my bones as I stumble back into Wellsmere's fog. The square behind me, swallowed by mist, faster than a bad date ghosting you. The air's colder now, biting through my jacket like it's got a personal grudge. I clutch my bag, the pocket watch and photo inside, clinking like guilty accomplices. My trainers scuff the cobblestones, and I'm half expecting the town to send me in another loop, but the streets stay straight, leading me away from the spire that's starting to feel like it's got my number. I need somewhere to think, somewhere less exposed. My gran used to say, secrets hide where dust gathers. She'd say it while rummaging through her attic, pulling out letters or trinkets that told stories nobody else remembered. Right now, I'm betting Wellsmere's secrets are buried under a pile of their own dust. I spot a building ahead, half hidden by ivy, with a sign reading Library and Archives in faded script. Perfect. If this town's got answers, they're probably loitering between moldy pages. The library door creaks open, hinges, whining like they're allergic to visitors. Inside, it's a time capsule of neglect, shelves sagging under leather-bound books, air thick with the smell of old ink and regret. A single gas lamp flickers like it's on a 0-hour contract. Behind a desk piled with scrolls, an old man peers up his glasses, so smudged they're basically decorative. Looking for something, he asks dry as the parchment under his hands. Just history, I say, aiming for vague. He points to a corner where books stack like they're plotting a coup. Joke one. If this library's got a coffee shop, it's serving decaf and despair. I weave through the shelves, my fingers trailing over spines embossed with titles like Annals of Wellesmere and Tides of Years. The floor creaks, and I feel that prickle again, like the town's eyes are on me. There's a debate in sociology about how libraries shape collective memory, how what's shelved or hidden defines a community's truth. Wellesmere's hiding something all right. I settle at a table, pulling out the clock tower photo. Its edges are curling, the sepia faces staring like they're judging my research skills. I grab a book, its cover embossed with that same vine from the inn and clock tower. Inside, its handwritten, ink-smudged pages, brittle as autumn leaves. It's a journal, not a book. Someone's notes dated over a century ago. The writer rambles about bindings and cycles, words like ritual and time, circled like they're shouting. My pulse quickens. This isn't history. It's a bloody instruction manual. The journal mentions a chime that holds tying the town to eternal midnight. It's vague like a professor dodging a deadline, but it matches the clock tower's frozen hands and that eerie bell. Fun fact, in the 1800s, some towns used time balls to sync clocks dropped daily at noon. Wellesmere's chime feels like the opposite, locking time instead of marking it. I flip pages, finding sketches of symbols I saw in the clock tower, circles, lines, squiggles that make my head ache. My grand's wisdom hits old words carry old weights. She'd tell me to read between the lines, but burn the book if it felt wrong. This journal feels wrong, like it's reading me back. I keep going, finding a passage about newcomers who stir the cycle. Great, so I'm not just a tourist, I'm a cosmic spanner in the works. Joke 2. If I'm breaking time, I hope I get a refund on my existential crisis. A creak snaps me out of it. The old man's gone. His desk empty, glasses left like a prop. I'm alone, but the air's heavier, like someone's breathing just out of sight. I shove the journal in my bag. Yep, I'm officially a kleptomaniac for creepy artifacts. The lamp flickers, shadows dancing like they're mocking my nerves. I stand my chair, scraping loud enough to wake the dead, which in Wellesmere feels like a real risk. I head for the door, but a side shelf catches my eye, stuffed with more journals. I grab one, flipping it open. Same handwriting, same symbols, but newer, dated decades later. It's like the writer never stopped, or someone else picked up the pen. A line chills me. The fog keeps what the chime binds. I slam it shut, my heart, doing a drum solo. Joke 3. If this town's got a book club, I'm not joining. Outside, the fog's waiting thicker than ever. Like it's pissed I've been snooping. The library door clicks shut behind me, and the street feels narrower. The spire's silhouette barely visible. The journal's weight in my bag is a reminder. Wellesmere's not just a place. It's a trap, and I'm neck deep in its bait. I keep moving the fog, whispering the chime's echo, lingering like a warning I'm too stubborn to heed.